Hi, it's Amy with Intuitive Coaching with Amy Radio, and this is your sacred space for spirituality, intuition, manifestation, metaphysical wisdom, and personal development. Today, I want to offer you a simple shift that can completely change the way you approach your manifestations. All you have to do is believe it is possible. Not probable, possible. There's a huge difference between possibility and probability. Probability is the mind trying to predict the future based on the past. It says, I've never done that before. It hasn't happened yet. People like me don't experience that. It will probably take a long time. It probably won't work. Probability is almost always rooted in history. It looks backwards for evidence before it allows you to believe. Possibility works differently. Possibility lives in the divine. Possibility is where miracles live. Possibility is where intuition lives. Possibility is where everything new is created. It's where everything new begins. Every beautiful thing that has ever been created existed in possibility long before it became a physical reality. So when you find yourself wanting something deeply, pay attention to what your mind immediately does. Does it begin calculating? Does it begin comparing? Does it start to pull out a list of reasons why it probably won't happen? Does it use your past as evidence for the future? If it does, gently interrupt that process. You don't have to argue with your mind. You don't have to convince yourself. Simply return to the thought, it's possible. That's it. It's possible. What I want is possible. It already exists within the divine realm of possibilities. I don't have to know how. I don't have to know when. I don't have to know every step. I simply have to remain open to the possibility that it can happen. I think many people unintentionally limit themselves because they confuse intellectual certainty with spiritual truth. Again, they confuse intellectual certainty with spiritual truth. Your intellect wants evidence. Your soul, the part of you that's connected to the divine, the God within, recognizes possibility. Your intuition is always pointing you towards possibility. It is never trying to convince you that your dreams are impossible. Your intuition never says, don't even bother. There isn't enough time. You missed your window. Those are all fear-based thoughts. Your intuition speaks from a place of hopefulness, of confidence, and it's always trying to remind you that there is always another possibility, another solution, another opportunity, another manifestation fulfilled, another miracle. So here's the practice for you. Whenever you notice yourself trying to calculate the odds, just stop. Take a breath and simply say, what I desire is possible. What I desire is possible. And then just be with that. Don't immediately let your mind minimize that. Don't let it try to come up with pathways. Just be with possibility. It is possible. There is tremendous spiritual power in allowing yourself to remain in the field of possibility. Because the moment you stop arguing for your limitation, your intuition has room to speak. And that's where your next right step will come from. Your next right step rarely comes from fear, and it definitely doesn't come from probability. It comes from possibility. I honestly believe this is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, to stop asking, will it probably happen? And begin asking yourself, what if it's really possible? What if it's really possible? Because if it's possible, then your only responsibility is to keep showing up for it, keep doing the things, to keep listening, to keep taking steps, to keep following your intuition, to keep taking that inspired action. The universe doesn't ask you to know exactly how everything will unfold. It simply asks you to remain open, remain available, remain willing, believe in possibility. And this is in the notes, but I'm going to add this to it. In your meditations, if you are a person that meditates pretty regularly, I don't care how you meditate, whether you're listening to a guided meditation or not, I would say start really focusing on that heart chakra area being wide open and staying open. And as you practice it, you'll start to notice like, oh, wow, I am open. That is where possibility can really start to flow and be a constant state for you. So believe in possibility and let spirit show you the path one step at a time. And if you're really manifesting, this might be a little agonizing. You know, being open to possibility, not knowing what's going to come and when. Oh man, that takes a tremendous amount of spiritual faith. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you already value your spiritual journey, your intuition, manifestation, the metaphysical. You believe your life can be even more beautiful than it is right now. You can psychically sense it. And you're right, more is available to you. However, you may have reached a point where listening to inspired content is no longer moving the dial of possibility. And you now need to actively apply these principles and practices to your life to receive everything you have been sensing is available. This is where you and I come together. This month marks 16 years of me as an intuitive coach, 16 years of this show. And for 16 years, I have helped people bridge the gap between spiritual insight and real life results. Yes, my podcast offers you spiritual wisdom and it reminds you of your journey. And many of these principles you already know. However, it can be difficult on a day-to-day when you're dealing with life and life's terms to apply that wisdom in a way that creates immediate results, in a way that creates immediate forward momentum. But for 90 days, you and I will focus on what you want to create. You'll bring your dreams, your desires, your questions, your frustrations, your decisions, and your struggles. And in session, you will explore the spiritual and energetic piece of your situation you're not seeing clearly. I help you recognize your next right step towards the transformation you most desire. I am your spiritual ally. I tune in psychically and translate that guidance into practical action that creates real results in your life. Whether you desire greater income, financial freedom, a thriving business, a loving relationship, better health, to release weight, to complete a creative or passion project, or to be your best self more of the time, we will stay focused on your vision until your outer life reflects what you've been sensing is true for you all along. Enrollment for the 3-month intuitive coaching package is officially open. I'm accepting 13 new clients. Enrollment closes when the 13 spots are filled. And yeah, we're in a Mercury retrograde. But I believe Mercury retrograde is the time where you return to what your inner wisdom has already been telling you. And if you've been thinking about working with a coach, if you've been thinking about expanding what is possible for you, if you've been thinking about what you could do to create what you most desire, and if you've been waiting for the right time, this is your moment. I invite you to commit to your big happy change and build something beautiful. My door is open. Welcome home. Go to intuitivecoachingwithamy.com. Under Work with Amy, you will find the 3-month intuitive coaching package. Enroll today and transform your life with greater ease. It is an honor to help you create the results you most desire. Thank you so much for listening to this show. I pray this message was useful. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.